Hello everyone, what is up? Today, Millennium 1 speedrun. Gonna take quite a while, but we're ready for it. Current record is an 80% run on speedrun.com at 4 hours and 1 minute, which means that is going to be the goal to beat. And that's about all there is to it. It's a glitchless run, but it doesn't say anything other than that. It doesn't say anything about which difficulty. It only says 80% speedrun, so we're going to try and beat that. Timer in 3, 2, 1, go. First of all, we're obviously going to skip the introduction. We're going to choose story mode because that is the mode that this is the easiest to speedrun in, obviously. And I prefer invisible encounters because those actually make it surprisingly a lot easier to not die. However weird that might sound, we're going to use Marine's skill right away, hide or fight. And we're going to set this to 10, which is going to let us encounter more monsters than usual. As soon as it becomes too much, we can just skip out and not fight the monsters. But the reason that we're starting off by increasing the amount is going to be that we want to make sure that we have a decent level before we enter the forest. Otherwise, once we enter the forest, we're actually going to be pretty low leveled, which we want to avoid, obviously. We're going to start out by killing these bees. The bees, not really the biggest challenge or anything, but they are going to give us XP until we level up to the next level, which requires 30 XP. Otherwise, we're going to be level 1 when we enter the forest, and we don't want that. So once we reach this little bridge here, obviously, cutscene starts. Although I don't plan to commentate the entire thing, I'm only going to commentate on the interesting parts, and the intro and a large part of the ending is somewhat interesting, but other than that, I don't really plan to commentate too much. Except that we're obviously doing this as fast as we can, so... Gonna involve a lot of mashing on this keyboard. Alright, so Marin can now call on Jean in fights, which is what we want. And then we can just continue straight up. Alright, so first fight against the bees and stuff. We're gonna fight the bees and stuff. I'm not sure if it is relevant, but let's turn on this. That's gonna speed up battles completely legally because that is in the menu of the game, base game. And nothing weird about that one. And we gotta avoid the middle of the forest because even though I don't know entirely sure, I'm not entirely sure if the queen bee is in there. I'd still rather avoid her popping out of nowhere and being like, yo, I'm here. So we're gonna avoid that, obviously. Alright. Casually going up here, going to pick this up. Sparkle flower, I don't know what that does, but... Secret room here. Not like we really wanted that, but I do feel like showing it off, because why not? It's kind of how confident I am in this record, that I know that I can do this without needing to optimize every second. So we leveled up. That was the goal, leveling up once. Now we proceed north. As far north as we can, basically. We get attacked by a couple of honeybees, dragonfly, that's all fine. And we just casually continue north. Now the arrows, oddly enough, point like that. You can completely ignore the arrows being like that. I don't know... I don't know who or what decided that the arrow should point like that, but they shouldn't. Makes no sense whatsoever. Because you can just walk straight through. And then we can just continue south and continue westward. But first we're going to head up north into the item shop to the right here. And we're going to buy, let's see, 15 of these. 10 of these. And we're going to fill up on vials because those are what we're going to use to stay at a decent mana so that we can summon Jean as often as necessary. We don't actually have to talk to Benoit here. You would think that you do, but you actually really don't. So we are going to ignore Benoit first of all, and we're going to talk to Grandpa Alan first. And then by doing that, we're going to actually basically jumpstart the game. I'm going to open myself a drink with one hand during the dialogue match, because this is the only time that we can do that. Because playing for 3 hours straight without any type of drink is going to be bad for anyone's health. Alright, once again, we don't have to talk to Benoit. We can just completely ignore the fact that he even exists. Like, we can just entirely ignore him. He might not be happy with it, but we can do it. Alright, so we can equip the letter code here, and then we can progress back to the right. Now, we're going to be stopped almost instantly as we leave, because Jack and James are actually blocking up the exit. So all we really have to do here is now you can actually return by simply opting to return. Actually lets you return. We're gonna get attacked by a lot of ants here, which is why we bought the armor. This is the first time we're actually gonna call Jean, and then now we're not gonna call her again, because if we call her again, we're gonna lose out on the mana that we need, and we don't want to waste a vial just yet. Open that. That's gonna be a bucket. It's gonna increase our defense. And we don't have strategy yet. And I'm not talking about myself. I'm talking about Marin. She does not have the skill strategy yet. But for now, the main strategy is we're actually gonna go ahead and set it to hide or fight 50 steps. So this is gonna be the bare minimum encounters. Why? Because the main portion of the game where you can grind out is later, and it is a lot more efficient and a lot faster and a lot better to grind there than to do it here to beat the respective bosses. So this is the purse that we had to grab. We are surprised by the enemy, but that's fine because we have Jean ready to help us. And Jean, of course, is going to easily kill this thing, because that is, I mean, that's what she's for at this point. She's going to kill the thing. We're going to level up to level 4. Quest 2 complete, and then we're going to be allowed to head straight back. So that's the second quest of the game done at the 7-minute 50-ish mark. Gonna phase up against these army ants, which is gonna be annoying because, yeah, they alternate defending. They alternate who defends and who doesn't defend, and that actually can lead to you, you know, hitting the ones defending at the wrong time. But okay, we're gonna continue. We're gonna continue southwards. Ignore the coin pouch, because that's just going to delay the game massively, because the thing that shows you picking up the coin pouch is pretty slow. And then we're gonna leave. Okay, we're first gonna fight these dragonflies, and then we're gonna leave through the south. So that is level 5, which is basically the level that we wanted to reach. I reached it a little bit late. I guess I had one less encounter. One less encounter than I'm used to, so but that's fine. And now we're gonna look at this squirrel here, who is injured. Other squirrels are gonna help him, yay! And the squirrel's gonna be fine. Playing a game like this in one sitting is always a little bit hard. Playing Millennium 1 in one sitting is honestly, I don't know why I'm doing it to myself, because this game isn't even that short. It's not the longest game out there, but it's certainly not the shortest game either. Alright, so at the 10-minute mark we find Benoit. And we're mashing through the dialogue. Oh lord, this dialogue. Alright, so Benoit is actually going to join us. Yay. And that means we're going to go straight into the menu to equip him with the lovely gear we have, namely the battle knife and the wooden stick. Now, as you can tell, we are pretty injured, so we are going to quickly rest up at the inn here. We're not really going to lose time by resting up, so that's fine. I'm not really sure what my goal time is here, because honestly, I don't really know how long this game takes when you do like a full run. I've done segmented runs, but I haven't done a 100% full run yet. It's the first attempt that I'm doing right now, so if this fails, obviously I won't upload it. So we get a little message that we can't hide ourselves while we are in the open. I don't know if that means that we start hiding again as soon as we reach someone or not. We'll notice. Alright, so we enter this place, the Scarlet River as it's called. This game's obsession with forcing me to save is slightly annoying. So I don't know if we're hiding now or if we're just walking normally. I don't know if you have to reset your choice every time. What I do know is that both Benoit and Marin are more than capable of killing everything that's here. And we are going to set fight or flight back to 10. Okay, so it does reset every time. That's good to know. Slightly annoying, but good to know. So we're setting it to 10 so that we have a slightly higher chance of actually encountering some enemies. Not because I'm particularly desiring fights right now, but because I do happen to know that if you never fight, you're never going to power up enough. So we're going to continue to the right here. We don't need any weapons right now or any gear that we might be able to find from the wild. No such thing here. No such thing here. We are going to have to make our way through without any special weapons here to save some time, A, and because we just simply don't really need them, B. So we're first going to defeat the red ants, and we're going to miss one of the ants, but at least it's not going to poison us, so I suppose could be worse. I don't know when Marin learns strategy. I don't know if she already knows strategy. I don't think she does, seeing as I would have noticed when I opened the fight or flight menu. Now we're up against two of these things, which is going to be twice as annoying, clearly. And these things luckily aren't that bad. Okay, so this one managed to blind me, so we'll go ahead and summon John, because we don't, like, when we're blinded, we can obviously not do much about it. So then that is the moment that we're going to summon John and have John quickly get rid of stuff like that. Okay, so this is the first boss of the game. Say hello to Mr. Tentacle King guy. I don't know. Now John is quickly going to get rid of the two side enemies that we see in the back, which is going to be all that we need. And then both Benoit and Marin are actually going to be able to fight this guy hands-on. Although he is going to inflict quite a lot of damage to both of them. So I'm going to heal once here to get Benoit up to health. And we're gonna go ahead and double slap, attack. Just bit my tongue. That hurts. It's obviously like he's gonna keep attacking us, and we're gonna keep attacking him. But the good thing is, Marin unblinds because of... The thing with double slap is that it actually counts as 3 turns, because you have the turn where you're using it, and then you have the 2 other turns where you're actually hitting. So that counts as a total of 3 turns, so to speak. Which is obviously a boon when you're trying to get rid of something like blinding. Now this fight does take pretty long, because this thing does have a lot of HP for a boss this early on. And we obviously don't have the weapons yet to do much damage to him. It's meant to be a pretty difficult boss. You're meant to be grinding up a little bit. But that's not necessary, because we did beat him, and we are level 7 and 6 now, I believe. Which is going to make the rest of this place a walk in the park. We don't need that. I don't even know what that is, I'm not gonna lie. We don't need it. And we're gonna open this chest for the super potion. Super potions, not necessary per se. However, they are pretty good items. Super potions in general are pretty decent because they do fully heal a character just once. And sometimes you just need that little extra, you know, that little heal can sometimes really get you a long way. So that is why I'm not saying no to the free super potion there, even though it requires opening a chest. You also have to keep in mind, like, opening a chest is not the end of the world. A run is really not going to depend on whether or not you open the chest. A run like this is more going to rely on, did you manage to get to level 20? Did you not fight too many fights that were irrelevant? Did you manage to get to level 20? Did you manage to promote the right characters at the right time? That is more what a run like this is going to be about. Carefully spacing when we open the menu is something that I see a lot of people mess up on. Because what a lot of people ignore is that opening the menu is probably one of the slowest things in these games. Because you open the menu and then you have to navigate the specific submenu that you want to go to. And that actually takes so long. So you need to like limit the amount of times that you go into the menu to the absolute bare minimum. And the little fight and flight strategy that I'm using might seem a bit counterintuitive to that, because it definitely is not the bare minimum of the amount of times that you need to go into the menu, but it does help. So, right, we made our way to Festina, which is where we wanted to be. Alright, so now he's gonna tell us that it's completely impossible and we should just give up. Woo! Is that what we want to hear? No! Boo! 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 So he's just gonna talk about how we should just give up and not do anything, and we can just ignore him. We just have to spam through his dialogue. Ah, so now she learns strategy. I gotta say, I do love Marin's reasoning. Marin's reasoning for participating in this little wild goose chase, and Marin's reasoning for going on this quest are pretty solid. So we have 121 gold left, and what we want to do with that gold is we want to come in here, talk. No, not you. I don't want to talk to you. And we want to buy 2 Mountaineer canes and 1 leather coat. The leather coat obviously for Benoit, and then the Mountaineer canes is going to be for both of them. Why? Simple, because otherwise you're not going to be able to cross the mountains. Because the mountains are what do you call that? So we're gonna find this, so that you find some this is gonna give us some XP. And this, I always think that this is a place where you can sleep, but it's not. So we're gonna just leave Festina now. We're gonna run into a bear, which we're gonna kill pretty quickly. I don't think we were meant to go this way. I think, I don't know, I don't... Oh crap, I'm drawing a blank here. I don't know where I'm meant to go. Crap. Yeah, we're meant to go through. Okay. Yeah, I was grinding. That's totally what I was doing. Totally did not just completely spaz on where I'm meant to go. To the right. The biggest thing of like speedruns like this is that sometimes you're just completely, like, you're just blanking completely on what you're meant to be doing. It's a Guild of Minds, not a Temple of Mist. And like I said, there's definitely gonna be people that know this game better than I do. I don't claim to know this game perfectly. And like the people that know this game better than I do are probably gonna be able to do this a lot better, faster than me. But the only run I saw was slower than what I can do. So that is why we're trying this. The main thing we need to watch out for is that we... So this place is pretty decent for farming. The only issue is the golems, which we're going to meet soon enough. And we're going to rest at the windmill. These mountains are pretty big. That's like the main issue. This is a pretty big place. And that is why we have Marin on countering. Because that will allow her to take on a lot of these birds as they ambush you before you actually need to get a turn. Same with like getting ambushed here. Now this is an ambush, so we're just gonna run because we don't really have the gear or the honestly the desire to take on those golems after we're already blinded and bleeding. So as long as these dwarves don't move, I'm fine. Sometimes they move and screw up your movement path, but not this time. Right now, we're gonna fight this golem here. Now, Wind Hand is going to damage his defense a lot, and then we're gonna be able to just break through his defenses, which is good. But once there's 3 of them, which there is at some point, that's not gonna be good enough anymore. It should also be noted that there's really no need to break through their defenses per se. You can definitely beat them without wasting Benoit's mana. He doesn't exactly have a huge stock of mana, so you definitely do want to conserve like a little bit of his mana. As long as you take out the bird. You can get paralyzed, which is the main issue with these things, and that's when you kind of want to go ahead and go for his skill to quickly end the fight. So these things and their blinding effect is honestly like the most annoying part. Now I'm trying to just brute force through it and hopefully like, yeah, so with the amount of counters that Marin was doing, it was going to inevitably unblind her. Which means we can move on. So that's kind of the logic that I'm applying here. Now the next part is going to be a bit difficult because we're about to run into another ambush. And I think we're going to summon Jean on this one. So we're going to take a lot of damage here. Whew, okay. So Benoit has an adrenaline rush. Jean is going to have to kill all of them. Okay, Jean does kill all of them. Now, I say that as if I'm surprised, but I'm really not because I know that Jean kills them all. But, you know, there's always that off chance that something doesn't go the exact same way as it usually does. And, like, you don't want that to be now. You'll also notice we used the super potion and 3 files. If we end up not running... Yeah, okay, so we don't get attacked by a single other enemy on the way here. So that is a complete waste of items. But if we had gotten ambushed by something else, then we would have been dead. So that was a little bit risk management, essentially. So we're going to open these baskets because they're free XP. They also... You can tell that Benoit actually leveled up from that. Now, obviously, it's also a bit of a waste of time because it takes quite long to open them. Marin also leveled up. You can tell by like in the bottom, like when their health is not full, even though they didn't take any damage. Most people would know that, I guess, but I figured I'd say it anyways. We're stuck with each other until the end of this run, after all. So now this is going to be the big bad. 3 golems. This is where we're going to go ahead and spam Wind Hand from Benoit. Each time on the next golem, and then Marin finishes off the golem that Benoit just weakened. Sometimes that's not going to be enough, and in this case, like, Benoit gets paralyzed. We're really trying to... Okay, we got through that. Good. We got 3 precious nuggets. Usually I don't really use those. End up slightly, like, neglecting them. I don't really know how useful they're going to be if I try to sell them. But if they turn out to be useful, I guess. So be it. So we're at the 25-minute mark, and we're nearing... starting to near the end of the rocky path. So I suppose we're kind of on track. Kind of not on track. I don't know. Like I said, I haven't really written out a track, so to speak. I don't really have a... I don't have a list of where I want to get at what times. So for now, we're going to try and regenerate health every fight. Why? Because Marin is kind of getting low, and we definitely want to not die, even though she will come back. Her coming back is pretty contingent on Benoit surviving, and I don't like my odds there. Especially, like, the shake thing is really annoying. Because it is completely reliant... Oh, wait, I can escape from it. I could escape from this. So that's a choice that I could make. I could try to escape from this and then start the fight over without her paralyzed. And I suppose, like, that could have maybe worked. But obviously, the longer I postpone that, the less useful it's going to be. But I do know that paralysis really can last really long in this game. So maybe that would have been the better choice. I think that might have been the better choice there. I don't know. It might have been. Now you can tell regeneration does slow down the game like a tiny little bit. Benoit learns Iron Hand, I'm pretty sure. And here we go again. Now this time we're actually going to summon John for a good reason. I meant to heal, but it's fine. Her attacks don't do anything to the golems. But the point is that she can easily heal us to full without us actually having to use any items. Which is obviously like a very positive thing, like being able to heal here without having to waste items. And we're also going to spam her sparkles. I don't actually know if sparkles like levels up based on how often you use it or on Marin's level, but we're using it. Now these orbs won't actually trigger if you walk through them, so that's fine. Marshlands of the Mist, the Guild of Resistance. So we want to be here so that we can rest. 25 gold coins. Oh, I don't have enough gold. Right. Okay. Okay, you don't have to have a lot of stock. You just have to have enough stock. For one of these armors. Just like that. Gladiator shield for both of you. There we go. Okay. And then enough to sleep. Bye. Have a good time. Now we're going to get ambushed here by these lions. And that is why Marin is the one that got the armor. Because these things counter... Well, some of them. some of these things actually counter counters, and that is really annoying because counter obviously leads into a deathmatch where whoever counters the longest actually ends up winning, so to speak. And that is annoying for all the obvious reasons, because you don't really want to be stuck in a situation where whoever counters the most is winning. Alright, so now this is a slightly different situation, because while we're still in the same like general situation, the difference now is that we can summon Jean for this one and actually deal massive damage to the lion and to the tigers, because there's a lot more enemies, so that becomes a lot more valuable. And since this does not kill, we actually get the heal, then we punch him. Now, if this still doesn't kill, we can heal Benoit too, but that's not necessary, because there is going to be a second round. Alright, so you can tell the Elder Lion is the one that we need to be careful for, because that is the one that actually counters your counter hits. So first of all, we need to make sure that that one is defense damaged, so that Marin, when she counters, is going to deal more damage. Just like that. There we go. Perfect. That was pretty perfect, honestly. Now we're in Bogobaka, and this is obviously the part where we are going to almost get our first split. 31 minutes in. I think that's on track, but I'm not entirely sure. This is probably like gonna be the toughest section of the game. I've always hated the fact that Corinne and Marin are like share their names so like their names are so similar. I don't recall if she actually has a weapon stored away here or not. No, she doesn't. Yeah, that cute dress is something you can give that to someone, but it doesn't matter too much. Kind of wasted time on it. Alright, so we're in the swamp. Alright, so now that we're in the swamp, we're not going to do anything yet. Although, yeah, no, we're not going to do anything yet. Not yet. Almost. Almost. So that's gonna summon the boatman. I forgot that I need to say yes. I always think that you need to talk to him, but you don't. You need to just say yes. God. So these are the main enemies in this part of the game, and Marin actually kills them with one hit, which is the sole requirement for getting through here properly. If she doesn't kill them with one hit, you basically escape until you get an encounter that's a little bit more favorable for Marin. Like, only 2 enemies. So that Corinne and Marin plus Benoit can then kill it. But if Marin kills these spiders, that is perfect. Now this is a bit harder because that thing is actually very annoying. It can inflict very annoying status effects, such as Entangle, as it just did. So we need to be a little bit careful of that one. Although it's not the biggest issue, it's just something to be like a little bit aware of, that it can do that. And I would recommend having Karen focus on it, hopefully killing it. Another major thing is that you want to avoid, like, you really want to avoid accidentally leaving the area. Because... yeah, the battle, I mean, like, escape. Escaping is fine if you're trying to escape fights and if you're trying to, like, avoid having to fight. See, that's what I mean. Like, I wasn't trying to avoid that fight. In fact, that was one of the best fights that we're gonna have, because fighting crocodiles is exactly what we want to be doing. Why? Well, because Corinne actually deals more damage when she's fighting crocodiles, and then her increased damage is actually going to be very important here. These things pretend like they're relevant, and I don't know why. No, but like, you're gonna get increased damage against crocodiles from Corinne, and that just... Well, I mean, she also hits 3 times when a crocodile attacks you, so... The extra hits plus the extra damage is just going... It's just so relevant, you know? That's all there's really to it. Alright, so now that this wave has shown up, we're actually going to call Jean and have Jean attack, because these guys are really annoying. They can do a lot of status effects, none of which are good. So we just want to get rid of them as fast as possible, and then once the fight is over, we want to go straight into our menu, Alchemy Bowl, and heal up. And then we can keep going. So now, I think 2 of them got angry. Okay. Not too bad. Please don't do anything too bad. Okay, go. Good. So it's always a little bit risky. That's why I don't turn up the encounter rate here, because if we run into those annoying plants, that is very troublesome. And the chance of running into crocs really isn't high yet. We even run into a lion. So you see, like, you can run into a lot of things here. That's actually going to give us some feline meat, which is obviously good, because we do need more healing items. But the real deal starts here, because this is Rogue's territory. And now this is where we actually can... this is actually where we can go ahead, select hide or fight. And this is where we're going to attract as many enemies as possible, because this is the part of the game where we have to get those level ups. Now, I'm not saying we need to be at like level 50 or anything when we get out. Especially against these caiman, well, I don't know which enemies specifically they are. But those crocs are not the ones that we want to fight the most. We want to fight the smaller ones. But if these are the ones that show up, then so be it. So as you can see, like, the encounter rate is at 0, meaning like every step we take could be another encounter, completely dependent on our RNG. There is nothing stopping the game from spamming an encounter at us every single step we take. So that is obviously like a big thing. Like, every step we take is a lot of freaking encounters, right? But it's also a lot of XP. Now, we're taking a pretty big risk here by not actually going ahead and gathering items in the swamp. Particularly a weapon for Corinne. Now, I am banking on getting the drop from Rogue. Completely banking on getting a drop from Rogue, since there's, like, obviously you can't just soft reset on a speedrun. I mean, you probably can, but I don't want to. But technically speaking, that would be the only way to get the drop guaranteed. Just soft resetting until you get the drop. And I'm not down for that. I don't want to do that. So, yeah, that's the situation. We're going to escape this one because it's the most annoying encounter. Any other encounter is technically speaking doable. This one's also slightly annoying, but it's not that bad because obviously less chance of missing. This one is really annoying. And very dependent on who Corinne attacks, which is always bad when you're rushing, and so on and so on. So I don't like that encounter. So Benoit only now realizes that this thing is toying with you. Which, I mean, come on, you're in its swamp. Of course it's gonna toy with you. It's a croc. Okay, so we've leveled up quite a good amount. So now we're gonna go ahead and set it to 10 so that we can actually have a couple steps each time without enemies. Why? You know, in theory, we could keep going and we could level up ad infinitum and we could, like, level up. But we are doing a speed run here, and the goal of a speed run is to do it fast. Like, as fast as you can. So if you're spending time, like more time fighting random encounters than you're actually spending time progressing in the game, then obviously you're doing something wrong. So Corinne leveled up, means she's going to be a lot more useful now. Still not at perma crits, but she does still like one shot, technically speaking, that map, like that encounter, that troop. So that's good. This one, sadly, she cannot one-shot, and that does indirectly mean that Benoit and Marin have to do it, and they're not strong enough either because I did not buy the additional weapon for Benoit by lack of money, and farming money would have taken too long. So, you know, you see, it's a little bit of a back and forth between, do we have the money for this? No, we don't. Do we have the energy for this? No, we don't. Do we have the time for this? No, we don't. And then, like, you kind of have to make this decision based on, okay, so I have all these factors play in. What is my decision? And more often than not, you're going to be like, okay, well, was this the right decision? And then maybe the answer is going to be no. Sometimes the answer is going to be, yes, I made the right call here. But you won't know until you've done it anyways. So it's like this one, like, the first time you do this, like, if you decide, okay, I'm going to walk down the left side, that could work out really well for you, or that could work out terribly for you, depending on, like, where you're actually going. But the first time you don't know where you're going, so you could be wrong. Right? You see where I'm going with that? Like, you have to make certain guesses, otherwise the game just does not work. Alright, so, at this point, we're just chasing the rogue. We're at 41 minutes to 42 minutes flat, which is not that bad. We are rapidly progressing here, and we are going up north. We're going to get ambushed here. It's fine. We beat that. One of the biggest issues with speedrunning is that you can't really check your XP or how close you are to stuff, because that does take, like, a significant amount of time. Like, opening the menu just to check, like, how much XP you've got till the next level is something, like, such an unnecessary waste of time. Like, just don't do it. You can do it if you're very fast with it. You can do it while you're opening the menu to heal, which is how I check stuff like that. Now, Benoit's gonna level up to 14 as we slowly progress into the boss area of this dungeon. Alright, so this is the rogue's territory once again. Now, if you talk to that bird, the boss fight starts, but if you talk to this altar, you're actually going to go ahead and get a massive bonus. And this is where we're going to heal up. We're going to use the feline meat for them. And we're going to use the reptile meat for Marin, and then fill him up. Okay. The rogue fight. So indeed, we're going to call Jean into the fight right away. And as you can tell, like, Corinne is so strong in this fight. There is no reason to not have Corinne fight to the best of your ability. Now, this fight is pretty contingent on Benoit just getting the defense drop as fast as humanely possible. And after that, it really is just a spam fest of Corinne hitting it. Now, it does counter a lot when Marin attacks, because this thing does actually counter to the death. So you might want to actually counter defend with Marin, and then use Fighting Spirit, you know, do anything to avoid those massive counter fests, because they're not really helpful to the overall fight. Yeah, if you can, I would turn off the auto. Yes, we got the Titan tooth. Okay. This is good. This is good. This is what we want. We want the Titan tooth. Now, I don't know what level she has to be to craft it. But I do know that that gives us an amazing weapon. And it's actually a random drop. We killed Rogue at 44, 43. It's a bit earlier than that, but whatever. I was too happy to actually properly press the button. So I don't actually know what level she learns, what level she can craft the thing at. So we're just gonna take that risk. We're just gonna go for a craft. Alright, so you can tell with that, she actually makes the Rogue Hatchet, which is a lot better, and the Titan Corset, which is also a lot better than what we already had. So that is great for her. That is going to make Corinne the single best character that we have. No matter what. Like, there's no debate. There was no debate, because she's obviously going to be higher level than the other ones. But now there is, like, triple no debate, I guess. Now, sadly, this does not change that we cannot kill that thing in one go. But we are going to level up to level 18 and 15. Now, like I said, the goal here is not to level up to level 20 like some people would do for the promotion here. We're going to have time to get the promotion levels later. And that is not going to be the goal. The main goal here, so what we're doing here, or what we're going for here, is avoiding that the Draken fight later on takes literal hours. Same with the Jin fight at the end. If you're too under leveled, obviously those fights are gonna last like ridiculously long. The Jin fight is gonna last ridiculously long anyways, because his HP doesn't, like, his HP is the same no matter what. No matter what mode you play on, and then if you use like the weapons, the laser weapons, you're not gonna deal a lot of damage. So that's kind of like why that's gonna take long no matter what. Now that we're out of there, keep in mind Corinne is no longer going to get 3 hits per fight. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to set Marin's strategy back to 50. So that we now get very few fights again, right? So we now get a lot less fights once again. Now the fights that we do get, especially against lions and stuff, we can fight because Corinne did get that lovely new weapon. And our next goal is actually straight up just getting to the Draken. So you can tell, like, we're steadily nearing bigger goals here. Like, we're making good jumps in the time. It only took us 13 minutes to actually clear the entire swamp, which is pretty good speed. I accidentally escaped. I meant to use brush. I lagged like a tiny little bit when I pressed to the right, and my finger lagged. Real life lag. Which caused me to press it twice, I guess. So I escaped instead of rushing. That one was on purpose. Because it's a single Cayman, and that is not worth our time. Nor is the XP that you get from it worth anything. This time I pressed the wrong button and I ended up rushing, and it works out anyways. So it really did, like, it's not that strict. Like, you want to fight them, fight them. You don't want to fight them, don't fight them. It doesn't matter all that much. See, like, for example, this one is a fight that I would have liked to avoid because there is no reason for me to be in this fight. The XP is pretty bad. It's only 85 XP. If I wanted 85 XP, I could have just grinded 10 times harder in the swamp, in the rogue's territory. That's kind of where I'm coming from on that department. Alright, so we're talking to the ghost. We're returning. We're actually in really good shape, so we don't need to heal up, which is a pretty good time save there. And we are nearing the 50th minute. So we're going back to Bogabaka. Bogabaka. And yeah, we're back in Bogabaka. No, I definitely don't recommend playing the game like this. Indenera made a lot of very cool side quests in this game, and not playing any of them honestly feels like a bit of a shame, if you ask me. Like, not playing any of them feels almost sacrilegious, because he put so much effort into making good side quests, and you're just not playing them, you know? Okay, so now we're back in the rocky path, and the important part is that we actually equip 2 of our characters. Oh, can she not equip that? She cannot equip a Mountaineer's Cane. That sucks. Okay, so we're gonna put the Mountaineer Canes back onto Marin and Benoit, because otherwise they're gonna miss a whole lot of attacks, and we don't need that. So the beauty is that she's just going to absolutely demolish those golems. Just kind of conserving my voice here. We've got a long road ahead, and we've been talking a lot. So, yeah. Just kind of saving my voice a bit. I'm meant to escape. I'm making a couple mistakes here with escaping. Luckily, the game's not punishing me for them so far. So let's hope that that stays consistent. Because if the game starts punishing me on these small mistakes, then I am pretty screwed. Now my health status is really good so far. I really don't need to. Or level 16, not bad. My health is good, so I really don't need to. Really don't need to do anything on that department. Okay, there we go. So now we turn around. She's gonna show us a couple, like, she's gonna show us a good spot. Hello? Oh. Sometimes this really takes longer than you would think. I would love it if this game allowed you to just not do what Corinne suggests here, and then you're like, Marin never found her 13 warriors. The end. That would be pretty depressing. So now we're up against these thieves. And yeah, I was about to say, these thieves have one annoying quality, namely, they can inflict bleed on you. This guy tells us about the monastery he lives in. Yay, very cool. Okay, the monastery. Yay. So ignore that guy. Head all the way up. Ignore that guy too. No reason to not ignore them. Go ahead, open that chest. I don't know what that chest does. I don't know what the Orb of Valor does. It's an orb. It's supposed to have some value, but I don't know if it actually does. We're just very quickly going to check Orb of Valor. Quality offering for a god. Huh, interesting. I seem to recall that there's a quest for that. I think it's a quest item for side quest or something, but I genuinely just don't remember. I also know that there's a secret room here somewhere with a choir singing, and I know there's another secret room here, but we're not wasting time on those. Their contents simply does not warrant wasting time. I think the bottom path is how you get an alchemy item or something. I don't know. I think it's how you get something that we don't care about. Let that be the summary. I hate how slow Jean is. I don't know. I always remember Jean as being a lot faster than she is, apparently, because she always goes last. And I know in Millennium too, if you have the thing that lets her go twice. She's a lot faster because the first time she will always go first, and then the second time she will always go last. 174 points. I open that chest every time, and I never really end up using it, so I'm not sure why I keep opening it. But so a lot of wasted turns here, a lot of useless attacks here. It's fine. Okay, that attack wasn't useless then. And we find a map to the Thieves' Den. In a normal playthrough, yay. In this playthrough, boo, because we don't need it. Alright, so we killed one of them, and then we crit killed the other, and then we killed this one again. So 2 maps to the Thieves' Den. Yay, 2 maps to the same place. Very cool. And we're gonna fight these thieves for the last time today, hopefully. So just to give you an idea of like how different these various Millennium games are. Millennium 2, once you get to this point, you're essentially facing the final boss at this point. And you're probably struggling because the final boss has a lot of HP, and that's like the only reason that you're struggling against it. In this one, an hour marks about the part where you're like, I'd probably say like you're halfway through at this point. So we've been going pretty fast. Yeah, we've definitely been going pretty fast, pretty good. That doesn't really change that the game as a whole is pretty long. I don't know where these Stegosaurs didn't do anything, but I don't mind. They can do nothing a whole lot more often if they like. Okay, so we're level 16 with Benoit right now. And the dinosaurs are actually the only thing that we really want to attack at this point. Like anything else, we're just going to try and avoid, because the dinosaurs are the enemies that actually matter at this point. Everything else doesn't really matter. So this is why we want to call Jean, and we want to make sure that we call her to Sparkle, so that we don't have to deal with literally everything else in that fight. That fight was a whole lot of no tanks. Those birds are so annoying if they get the blind on you. Ugh, it is hellish. So that is what we were after. That is what we were trying to ignore. And now Marin is full of energy, which is very nice to see. It's pretty nice to see that she is in fact just a kid, a teenager. who got pushed into this. Like, it is pretty well established that that is the case, and I feel like scenes like this really establish just how true it is that Marin is just a teen getting forced into the situation. That being said, whether Marin is forced into the situation or not doesn't really change. So we're about to kill these dinosaurs, which are probably very extinct creatures. Well, one of them is actually called a dragon in this game, so technically speaking, we're not killing dinosaurs, we're killing dragons. I don't know what that's worth for you, but alright, so there's another dragon, dragon ambush here. So there are more they are dinosaurs. So you see the difference? They're dinosaurs, the other ones aren't dinosaurs. Yeah, there's such a big difference. Alright, there we go. Now, Corinne is actually level 19, and that is why this gets interesting. So we're actually going to do everything we can to level her up one more time so that we can get that promotion for Corinne. We're going to enter here, and now this is just where we call Jean. And, okay, so the Black Orb did a really good rolls here. We killed the Stegosaur with that. Okay, and this is where it gets difficult, because now we're actually dealing with maddened characters. Very unpoggers. And we basically have to rely on Jean just... Oh crap, I attacked his setup. Okay, we avoid. Whew. Good. Alright, Jean, please. So the only thing that this really changes is that we have to... We get a Witch Balm, that's fine. We're gonna use this, we're gonna use this, this. And we're just gonna back out. And we're gonna just start the first fight here of this row of encounters. Alright, so we're gonna go summon Jean once again. Iron Hand, Black Orb. Black Orb obviously has as goal to just kill as many of them by default as possible. But even if we kill none of them by default, very sad if that happens. We have 3 more uses, I think. Yep, 3 more uses. So we kill 1 by default, then we kill 1 more, and then we kill the 3rd. And then we're going to trigger this fight here so that we can circle around. I like how Marin insistently is confused about what's going on. It's like, Marin, have you not seen what's going on yet? Like, it's been the same every single turn. Surely by now, you have realized what is going on. You're being attacked. Again. It's not rocket science. I do like that Karen actually gets like an additional hit now whenever she uses her Black Orb. And then, okay, she leveled up to level 20. So now we can back away into the Shrine of Nova Mist here. And the thing is, we didn't pick up the promotion emblem. So first of all, we're going to heal, which does not, by the way. But it is going to turn her into a bounty hunter. Which is good in its own way. Like, bounty hunters... Don't ask me what it does for Corinne. I didn't read the book and I don't care. The only thing I know is that a promotion is always better than no promotion. Like, there is no situation where a promotion is worse than no promotion. So, there you have it. You can tell right away the damage she deals is literally like tripled. Like, look at that damage. 700 damage. 770 damage or so on those things. That's insane damage. That is insane damage. And it's that damage that we're going to need soon enough. So we're going to do something pretty unique here. We're actually going to red orb. Now, Howling is a really dangerous skill because if Howling actually gets some bad RNG, you can end up with like three maddened characters, and that is obviously very bad. But as long as Corinne acts for... Oh, okay. No, never mind. It's okay, Corinne. You tried. We're almost there. Almost there. Once again, gonna summon Jean, and we're gonna... Oh no, I clicked the wrong one. Crap. Yeah, I clicked the wrong one. I meant to have Corinne attack the middle one, obviously. The dragon. so that the dragon is now dead, and then we use sparkles again to kill all the others, and then we're gonna rush so that Corinne actually comes back to life here, fully fixed up, and Corinne is gonna level up, and now it's very painful that we're at level 19 for both, so we're gonna have to return. And neither of them are actually all that close to leveling up either, so... Oh, wait, yeah, no, we got what we needed. So we're gonna leave. Fast. Are we? Wait, what does a grow deck do? So, we're gonna heal up in any case. If we get some encounters that lets us, I think there's like one more over here. No. Oh, so there is random encounters here, so I guess that's what we're gonna have to rely on. I normally would never do this, but I do this because I do know without the promotions, it is going to be incredibly hard to actually do much. Now, there should be another set of encounters here. No encounter here either. So we're getting, like, I thought there was another encounter there, but apparently there isn't, so... Yeah, we're gonna have to just rely on the random encounters, which is never fun. Because, you know, when you want them, they're not there, and when you don't want them, they're there. Very close to leveling up, though, with everyone, so... Yeah, like... Is the grind going to kill the run, or not, is the question. Do I have another growth egg? No, I don't. And I only have... Yeah, okay, so no, I don't have anything that can increase XP here. So we're literally just relying on the RNG of to give us encounters and to give us decent encounters, because we've been getting encounters, but they're not helping us, and we do really need that Shiva upgrade for Marin so badly. And like, we keep getting singular encounters. Come on. We're very close here, though, so we're just gonna keep doing it. Like, there's no point in... The time we save is so much bigger than the time we lose here, I hope. Both because this lets us win fights that we normally would have to try really hard for, and it also lets us actually beat the boss in a reasonable time, because without this, killing the boss is like, oh my god, we don't need Benoit's promotion. That is not necessary. We only need Marines. I was about to say, oh my god, but then I realized that I don't need Benoit's promotion here at all. So, like, as long as we just can... Alright, one last fight, critical hit, Marin levels up, into the shrine, quick. I think we lost like 5 minutes here, which is not too bad. First of all, we're gonna ask for a heal. Yes, thank you. And then yes, no, I don't need you to revive, I need you to promote. There we go, Marin Shiva promotion, and that's good because now we have what we need to quickly complete the game. So why do we need the Shiva promotion? It's because in this dungeon, at some point, you're gonna end up fighting the boss, and the Shiva promotion actually lets Marin hit the same enemy twice in a row. So, where otherwise she would kind of be dead meat in a lot of the fights that are coming, with the right equipment, she can now actually, like, be one of the... See, like that. So she can kill something that normally she would honestly have no chance against, or which normally she really wouldn't be that useful against. I also just realized we can actually swap back to the gladiator shield, so we're going to give this to Marin, and then we're going to give... gladiator shield to him, and we're gonna go ahead, we're gonna give the Azure corset back to him. Oh, okay, so we can't equip the Titan corset on any of them. Okay, so we're just gonna Terra Locust. The Terra Locust is actually a cursed item. Like, if you equip it, you can't unequip it, so that's why I'm hesitant to do it. Alright, this section we are going to have to heal. I'm just gonna give Marin a little bit more mana. We shouldn't need Benoit's mana in this case. We should just be able to push through here. Welcome to the Dragon. Oh, I typed Drakon. That is something from Laxius Force. We're facing the Drakon. Big difference. Don't get it twisted. Alright, so and now the Shiva promotion is going to do a lot for us. The main thing is that we need this defense break. If Benoit feels like being a little bit generous to us. He doesn't seem to feel all too inclined to give it to us, but come on, Benoit, give it to us, please. And we double, like we already critted it twice. So, okay, I'm gonna swap the slash hand, see if I can lower its attack a little bit so that we at least take less damage from it. Okay, so there we go. Attack damaged, so that's good. Now we're gonna start rushing, but we're gonna start healing with John. Instead of relying on... okay, there we go. Whew! Okay, that was very fast. I don't think I've done it that fast. So we're gonna try and craft... See, okay, so we can't craft with anything. I wasn't sure if the Dragon Eye was something that you could craft with, but you can't. Now we make it into this cave. The Sapphire Cave. I have a pretty good eye on this run. Like, we're at 1 hour 11? 11:06, and... Now we're gonna get ambushed here. That's actually a set oh my lord, no! No! Corinne actually managed to run into one of them that was into the one that was defending, which is very, 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 very bad because defending really reduces damage by a lot in this game. Like, you can reduce defense by like a little bit, but you can also reduce defense by like absolute shitons. And this is definitely like the latter of those two. Okay, so the main issue here... Okay, so they're gonna use Sword Enlarge, which is pretty bad. Restless Warrior. But this should be fine. This should give us a win. Attack damage, that's what we were going for. And then now, Horrible Bites. Adrenaline Rush, useless. Alright, whew. Alright. Now we can casually continue. So it's down here. Now we're in the lava place somehow. Even though Marin literally does not wear shoes, which makes me kind of question how she is okay with this lava, but apparently she is. Do I have anything that cures cold? I don't think I do. I think, yeah, it's some type of meat. I think it's feline meat that cures cold, but I don't have any feline meat right. Cold it is. Alright, so in this section we're actually gonna go ahead and we're gonna set hide or fight to the absolute maximum. Because we want to encounter as few as possible monsters in this section. The monsters here are very annoying. All have very annoying effects. So the less of them we encounter, the better. Then the ones that we do encounter, we're gonna hope that they're the fly and hand things that you just saw. Because they are easy to beat. Now this is arguably the hardest fight, usually, because this is a guaranteed ambush. And guaranteed ambushes are always annoying. Now all we need to do is kill this one dragon. Alright, that went fine. That went relatively fine. We can keep going. Preferably, like, try to remember the way back, because we're just gonna have to, like, backtrack this exact path later on. We're only at an hour 14 right now. I think an hour 14 was give or take my final score. No, my final score in Millennium 2 is an hour 4 minutes and 20 seconds. So we've already like crossed that, and we're gonna cross that by quite a lot. But that's okay. We're quite obvious, like we're gonna get ambushed again once we jump onto this. we go. Although it does not count as an ambush this time, we're going to use Blue Orb and Black Orb. Black Orb auto kills one, but I don't get the extra attack, and I feel cheated here. Alright, so now the big issue is that this thing has a skill, a very painful skill, called, I don't know, fire, drop fire. I honestly don't know what the name of the skill is anymore, but it is a very painful skill. It does a lot of damage. Yeah, it does a lot of damage, so it's really not a fun skill to have used against you. And here we go, Hirado. I accidentally pressed it twice, but you know, whatever. The Jin is the next one. Obviously, after this is the end of the game. So Hirado basically says, yes, I want to help you. Well, no, first he says, no, I don't want to help you. But then he says, yes, I do want to help you. And then he's like, well, I am glad that we agreed that I am going to help you, but I still can't. Now, it's not really that he can't leave the cave. It's that he doesn't want to leave the cave, which is a pretty important distinction here. He doesn't want to leave because the Jin would be free. And honestly, I consider that a pretty damn good reason for him to not want to leave. So we're going to heal up real quick here, and then we're off again. And this is like one part of the game that I don't really like. Like the backtracking all the way back is like, you know, it's a pretty big slap in the face that we just have to backtrack the entire thing we just did. Like we literally just did this, right? And now it's like, oh, haha, do it again. We're steadily nearing the end of the game, though. I think it might show, yeah, Magma Spill. That was the skill. That was the name of the skill. So Magma Spill is a pretty strong skill. The thing is, you can't leave this place with Hirado, so you can't promote him either. I think. Never tried, gotta be honest. But I'm gonna assume you can't. I'm going to assume you can't. I think you can use those magic points to actually get up faster, but this isn't the moment to start trying out new things. Although, to be fair, I do strongly believe that if you don't try anything new during the actual run, then why are you doing an actual run? Like, you know, an actual run is fun and all, and obviously the goal is to do it the best you can, but if there's nothing left to improve on, it seems a bit boring. Like for me, I started this run here and now after a previous run where I did not manage to promote my characters in time. I did not grind at all. During the previous section. And now I'm cold and tired, which is not good. And mildly worried that someone is going to call my phone because they just did. And I don't like seeing it. Alright, so we're just continuing upwards. It's not this way, it's still to the left. Yep, to the left. That painful feeling of having to mute and unmute your mic because of a parent calling you on the phone in the middle of a speedrun to inquire about how your day's been. When the answer to that question is, amazing! I've been speedrunning a game all day. I'm sure you'd understand how amazingly useful and contributive to society that is. Spoiler, I don't think she would. Anyways, continuing the run. You see that we actually took the 2 laser cannons and we gave it to Benoit and to Marin. There's a good reason for that, but we're not going to go into that reason because explaining the reason takes time. You can tell that Corinne deals more than enough damage to hold her own, and Hirata might not, but we're not going to use. The laser cannon on him isn't too useful because we're going to do something else with that, so that is why we're not giving it to him either. So we get attacked here and massively targeted. Jesus. But the thing about that weapon is just that Marin now gets 2 hits because she's a Shiva, right? So Marin gets 2 hits with that weapon. So all in all, like, pretty useful. Now the thing is, we're gonna have to go ahead and heal. We're gonna go have. Actually, we don't have to heal right now. And I don't know why, but my game's like slightly laggy. So I hope nothing goes wrong here, because an hour 22 into the run, that would be pretty painful. Alright, so we're gonna get attacked here, and Benoit did get his little thingamajig, so that's good. Now we're getting Alchemist Cursed, which is an annoying attack. And we miss. Oh my lord. This is all the bad luck at once. Luckily, we can summon Jean, but I think, yeah, it's gonna be too late for Karen. She's just gonna die right there. So Jean, please heal Marin, so that we don't lose the run straight up. Okay, so we need to be careful here. We're gonna have to go ahead and use Sparkles to help us out. We're gonna have to use a Wide Orb. Marin's gonna come back to life. And a Wide Orb kills. Okay, so we're gonna have enter the menu real quick, and we're just gonna quickly use this. And then we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna use Benoit's heal to like get our health a tiny little bit up, so that it's at least like workable. Flip the switch, turn around. I forgot to go heal, and I really do need to heal right now, so I'm gonna backtrack a little bit. I don't know if this is going to be a huge waste of time or not, but I definitely need to go and heal. Alright, so we're gonna heal up. Now, in the chest on the left is another laser cannon, but we don't really need another one. Like I said, we're not gonna use it for Gerardo. I could have opened it if it had occurred to me, but it didn't occur to me, I'll be completely honest, so I didn't. Now, just in case, I am going to drop a quick save here. You can tell there was a serious necessity to heal there, because obviously, like, these zombies really are not letting us have this for free. This is honestly, like, I find this singular fight here is actually, in my opinion, harder than the main boss of the game. Simply because these zombies do not let up, and these zombies do not let you go. Like, you don't kill these zombies, too bad, you lose. No win for you. Right, I really don't know why the... Hello, game. Can you stop doing this, please? But yeah, as I was saying, I think this is honestly like the hardest fight in the game. Simply because those things do not let up. Like, they hit you and they hit you and they hit you and they hit you with those AoE attacks. And those AoE attacks are painful, man. But okay, we managed to survive. I dropped the save, as you could see. Just in case we don't survive that fight, because it's not exactly rare to not survive that fight. Maybe if we had like a completely optimized run, that would be easy enough to survive. We are missing like some additional gear. For example, we could have visited the forge every so often and try to pick up some extra gear there. Here's the extra laser cannon. It doesn't really matter. I don't plan on... I might just give it to Gerardo. Okay, let's go. Gerardo, equip this. There we go. So this makes Gerardo go first too if he attacks normally, which is good because that means we add speed to Jin with every character as long as we're faster. As long as we're normal attacking. You know, fine. My voice is starting to crack from the game. Although it is definitely not looking like we are looking at a 3-hour run. Or even a 2-hour run, maybe. I don't want to be too cocky because the final boss can take quite a while on a speedrun because of his HP being quite enormous. Although we do have the Rogue's Hatchet this time. I didn't have it in my previous attempt because it didn't drop from Rogue. Very unfortunate. And I do find it a little bit disappointing that that is a major part of what this run is contingent on. The RNG of did I get it or did I not get it. But that is kind of what RPGs are like. You can't really complain that an RPG is RNG reliant on that department. Especially because it's not like glitch RNG. Like, you'll have people that complain that some of the RNG glitches in Pokemon games are annoying RNG, and I'd say to that, well, you're trying to use a glitch. Of course it's going to be annoying. But in, like, this type of RPG, where one drop matters on your whole run, it's not like you can just redo it either. I mean, you could soft reset and retry it, but I explicitly don't abuse RNG. If you don't get the RNG that you want and you really want the RNG, then soft reset the game and start over. Start the run over. That's fine. But I am pretty much against just saving and loading. Except if you die, of course. Like, if you die, you die. That's... Like, if I had died in that previous fight, they're really, like, you can't go ahead and say, oh, no, you died in that fight, now your run's over. Like, that would be bull crap. But you could totally say, like, hey, you're not supposed to just go ahead, soft reset until you get the right loot drop. Although I feel like that is probably, like, an opinion. Like, every person that runs the game is probably going to have a different opinion on that. And I don't really know what the official speedrun rules are on soft resetting. I only know that I'm not doing it. So... But yeah, that does make Rogue's Hatchet a very important weapon that is very RNG reliant. And I do think it's a bit of a pity that it's so RNG reliant, because it definitely is not an easy weapon to get at all. I really don't know what's in those two chests, and I think I was meant to get them. I think I forgot to take them, and I think it's important that you do get them. Alright, well, final boss time. Alright, so turn 1, Red Orb, Wind Hand, Fighting Spirit, and White Orb. Now the good news is, Hirado is the slowest character. So if he gets his skill off, he is actually going to be the slowest, like he's going to be the slowest to do it, right? Which is good, because that means that his skill, which puts the Jin asleep, is actually going to cost the Jin a turn. Opposed to not costing it a turn because he didn't go last, you know? See what I'm talking about? Alright, so the damage the Jin deals is still pretty huge. We get 3 hits from Marin, 1 hit from Karen again, and we managed to damage his defense early on. Okay. So now this run is gradually starting to actually look like an actual run. We get... Oh yeah, right. I need to use barrier. I completely forgot. Oh, I clicked attack. I got excited. Crap. So we're dealing 1,000+ damage here. Hirado now going to use barrier to protect us from this thing. Because, yeah, that's like the one thing I forgot. If you don't use... If you don't use that, you're actually going to take a lot of damage for absolutely no reason. This, I think, halves the damage you take. Plus, Corinne actually gets a hit there onto him, which is obviously cool. Benoit is going to heal her, and then we're going to give her that. And then now Marin is going to go ahead and use Red Orb. We're going to attack. Hirado can defend. We're dealing about 789 damage to him. And every single time that we're going to get our... Alright, so he's going to miss, he's going to miss, he's going to miss, he's going to miss. Corinne gets the free hit. We hit him twice for another 450 damage. Another hit. And now he is actually blinded. So this is like a major part of the gig. Whenever he's blinded, whenever he's not blinded, I mean, you kind of want to like swarm him with every character that has this thing equipped. Except for maybe like Benoit, because Benoit is the only one that can heal Karen at some points in time. Like when you're not using Jean to heal, you're supposed to always use Jean to heal, but sometimes you just misclick. And then Benoit is a nice little emergency heal, so to speak. The Black Orb kills Benoit here. I'm not really entirely sure what I want to do about that. I'm going to spam Hirado's White Orb now. And this is what I tried to say earlier. Hirado's White Orb is a very, very controversial thing to use. Because while it's a really good weapon to use against him, he puts him asleep, obviously. It has the counter side of, you can't actually attack him while he's asleep. Because if you do, obviously, like that is obviously going to go ahead and fall out. So Benoit goes ahead, has an adrenaline rush, and we're gonna hit him a total of 4 times, and now we're gonna start dust punching it. So dust punch is the last part of the strategy that I have not been able to use yet. What is dust punch? It half speed, but I don't think that that's possible on this thing. But the important factor is that it allows us to hit this thing with another 241 extra damage. You know, like we are hitting him with like slightly more damage than we normally would. And it's those like 2 points of extra damage that are truly making the difference, I guess. Corinne hasn't had her stuff. Keep forgetting to heal. And she misses every hit. This isn't a moment, Corinne. We're going for a sub 2 hour run. I mean, sub 2 hour really should not be. Sub 2 hour really should not be up for debate at this point, but I know how this game works at times. So we're gonna go for the heal, alchemy bomb, attack boost, dust punch, heal on Marin. That's fine. I guess Marin did need it more. Alright, now we just need to avoid with Corinne, otherwise that's gonna be bad. Okay, so we and she misses again. To be fair, if she died. Oh yeah, nice. Thank you. Thank you very much. That's very appreciated. Like, you should do that more often. Like, just attack her. And we did it. Oh my god, he's dead. 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 At a minute 37. That means that the 2 hour run is live. I do actually like that Hirado actually actively asks, okay, what weapon do you want me to master for the upcoming fight? Not because, like, the answer is obviously none, because we're not going to use weapons, we're going to use hand-to-hand combat. But the reason I like that is because it is a very realistic question to ask. Imagine someone asked you, like, hey, do you want to participate in the tournament? And you said yes. You'd want to know, okay, what weapon is this going to be? What type of tournament is this going to be? So I really think it is a realistic question to ask. Now, that might seem weird to mention, but I really don't have anything else to talk about because I am so freaking psyched that we actually got a 1 hour 37 gym clear. That is such a fast clear of the game. I honestly did not think that the game would be cleared this fast. Like, my in-game time when I ran the game before was literally over 3 hours, and now this time we cut it down by like a solid 2 hour clear. Alright, so we're abandoning the laser cannons and stuff, which I've always found that a little bit weird in the game. Like, I totally get where she's coming from, but I think it's a little bit like, I don't know. I feel like it's a tiny little bit pulled out of thin air that suddenly Marin cares about the laser cannons. Obviously, like, if you had these weapons just anywhere, that would be broken as hell. But I think it's kind of like a bit random that she suddenly decides that she cares about that. Alright, so now the sad part is that this speedrun is entirely decided, like, by how fast we can get back. Now, the currently live speedrun ends at the moment that the game says, okay, game clear, and not at the save screen, and not at the end of the dialogue or at the point that you return to the main screen. So we're gonna have to pay good attention that we actually end the game at the same time. Otherwise, like, we're gonna be a little bit annoyed. So back over the bridge. Through the Sapphire Cave once more. I am kind of glad that they decided to put, like, Hirado at the end of the lava cave, and then after that, like, they made it so that you can actually come back, go back through the Sapphire Cave, and then you can continue that way and then leave right away. And what I'm saying with that is, they could have also made it so that you had to go back through the lava part and that, like, it continues behind Hirado, so to speak. So I'm pretty happy that they chose to do it this way. Alright, A New Hope completed. So now we're just waiting. Wait, no, we're not waiting. It was done. Oh, wow. I actually ended the run a couple seconds too late. God. That's awkward. So, that's it. 1h40 and 34 since I ended a bit late. But whatever, a couple seconds aren't going to change my happiness about this. 1h40, 34 clear time of A New Hope. Jesus, I did not think that it would go this fast. I did not think I would be able to clear the game this fast. But I'm also not going to, like, spend too much time talking about it. This is the video of the recording. I'm going to submit this as a run on speedrun.com, and we'll see how that goes. Cheers.